Hello, good morning and welcome. It's the 17th of September and it's just after 9 o'clock. And right, as we can see from the commitment of traders, every time we've had this big divergence between the commercials and the speculators, we've had a fall back down. And here again, same thing, a fall back down. We're now in the same position again, but with an even larger extreme, and I am basically expecting a fall back down. So we'll go over, this is the charts, and you can use the right one. The Australian dollar against the US dollar. We have had a breaking of these monthly turning points, very heavy resistance. We got up to the 81. I would have expected maybe for the commercials to take an even larger short ratio, but that they haven't, to be quite honest. But I am expecting this to fall back down. I don't have that larger position on it, just got a small position on it. And when I see it break and or go below the 50 on the RSI, I'll put some extra back on it. British pound. As we can see, we still have quite a long position for the commitment of traders, but we have had a couple of for Friday and Thursday, we have had a couple of rather large long candles. I don't know whether some of that will have sold off a little bit in the light of that, but I would expect maybe a little bit more upside for this, and we'll see where we can get to. We'll just go, this is the pound USD. We're coming up to resistance here, and leave it 2 or 3 days, see if it'll get over it, and see if we can then take a short position maybe on this. It could do with a trend line up here. We're well over the 69.1, and I would actually sell this coming back through. Canadian dollar. We still have a very bearish position. We have a slightly more bearish position this week than last, and the speculators have got a slightly less bullish position. So the speculators are losing some of their longs, and the commercials are increasing their shorts. So let's go and have a look at the chart. Canadian dollar, we have come down now. I mean, this is at an oversold extreme. We've come back up on the off the Bollinger Band here, and we are actually turning up on the RSI. I would actually expect this to move back up, but it has surprised me how far down it's gone. But I think for a small position, this is a good long-term long to take. Euro. Well, we have a long-term bearish position for the commercials on the euro. We have slightly come off the highs, and as you see down here, the commercials have sort of sold some of their shorts, and the same with the speculators. In fact, we have got quite a big step down there for the speculators. I think a lot of the speculators are now not liking it quite so much, or see it as a dangerous position to be long this in such an extreme overbought position for the pair. So if we go through to the chart and have a look, here we go, euro dollar. We just seem to have flattened off on the top here. We broke the trend line. I'd like to see it go below the 50 on the RSI. Glad to see it as low as it is. Well, we've had a couple of long candles the last couple of days. We have a commercial short ratio of 1.66 to 1, and I think this is about topped out. I have a small position. If you add all of my positions up, it's not particularly big. I have a small position short, and I really do like that. We have actually divergence between the RSI and the candle chart over this period here, if you can see where I've got my line up there. So anyway, we'll go back. Thank you very much. Right, Japanese yen. we've had a rise in the value of the yen, and as we've risen, the commercials have been selling off their long positions. We had that problem with the missiles the other day, which gave us quite a good buying opportunity on the yen on the crosses. I think we've got a little bit more strength to come in the yen, but obviously problems with missiles and things like that, you can't actually put that into the calculation. I did very well on the crosses on these. Right, if we go across to the chart, as you can see, we've had this pullback, a little bit of strength in the US dollar and weakness in the yen. So I think I'm going to hang fire on this and see how we go next week. We're above the 50 on the RSI, and you know, I'd like to see it come up to the resistance here before I put a small short in it. We have got a long ratio for the yen, which will be short for the pair, of 2.14 to 1. So we'll have a look how that goes next week. USD index. This is a 3-year chart, and as you can see, every time the speculators and the commercials have been opposed to each other, this position here, the dollar has made an increase and gone up in value. So if we look at this position here, it went up in value. What we've got at the moment is the most bullish position that the commercials have been in for a long time, and they've held this over the last 6 or 7 weeks. So basically, I am expecting to see a rally in the US dollar. New Zealand dollar. As you can see, we've had a fall off in the price of the New Zealand dollar, and it's fallen quite nicely, and it's had a little bit of a rally back up. I'm expecting this actually to fall through a little bit further, and we've had quite a nice position against the Japanese yen, where we've had a fall in the price of the yen, and also a little bit of a rise in the price of the New Zealand dollar. That's given us a very good selling opportunity. So that's where we're looking with that. Let's just have a look at the charts. New Zealand dollar. Yeah, so we are making sort of new highs, or coming up to the top Bollinger Band here, and we've actually come above the 50 on the RSI, and I am expecting these to actually fall back down. So I'm expecting weakness to show through here. So you could do with a trend line up here, and we'll be looking at that next week. Crude oil. As we've seen the last few weeks, the last 3 weeks, we've had the oil came down to sort of the 46 level. But if you actually have a look at the speculators, they didn't actually sort of throw their all in and sort of get behind it to rally it back up. And we see a mirror image really in the commercials down here, that they haven't exactly shorted it. But what I think is, if when the oil actually goes above the 50 and makes maybe a 51 and a half up here, then I think the commercials will actually get behind it and sell it down through. So that's what I'm looking for, and no, I think it's way overbought at the moment. So we'll see what happens with that. Into silver now. This is taking some time. Right, well, silver has become even more bearish on the commitment of trades on the commercial side. This is quite an extreme we've got here. We have actually sold off over the last few weeks, few days. So maybe 2 weeks here of sort of sideways come downwards movement. And the commercials have actually increased their bearish position. So the speculators have increased their long position. So I am actually expecting this to tumble quite big this time. We have got a fairly good extreme, That goes back at least 6 months until we find something of this magnitude. So I am expecting this to tumble back down quite hard. Quick look at the stocks. Go on, S&P. It's got fresh highs, so let's see what the commercials. Not really gone overboard on it, short. So you know, as far as I'm concerned, it's way overbought. Dow Jones. Dow Jones again. This is at a bearish extreme. So, and the Russell 2000 will be a bullish extreme, I would imagine. Come on. Internet here is just so slow. Yeah, look at that. Absolutely. That is a bullish extreme position. Okay, thank you for watching. Hopefully see you again on Monday. Bye.